Hey, it's Charlie from ACL Survival Club. I've just finished up my second week of rehab. Today I'll be taking you along to my surgeon's follow-up where I got a little bit of a surprise. I'm also going to share how I learned to walk again, and Alex is going to drop in and tell you everything I've been doing in rehab this week. Let's get into it.
It's now back down to 22, I'm sorry.
Remember what we're trying to do with that toe?
Yeah, pull the toe back towards my head. I can do it.
2 reps. Good job.
It just doesn't get less painful.
You got this, get better at it.
Yeah, I'm getting braver.
Good.
Thing that I do in the Bronco and just like smiling.
Yeah, your eyelids won't hurt.
No, they won't actually, it's true. They really don't, you know, it does work.
Last one.
Yeah.
Do that.
Ah, it's almost like, oh, make it stop.
Went to see the surgeon for the 2-week follow-up.
Yeah, there's a wound review, so he's had a look at the wounds. Wounds look great. She's been able to shower again,
Which has been phenomenal,
Yeah.
but we also had a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, so in Charlie's original surgery, not the one that she's had just now, they did a double fixation, and essentially they drill, they screw, and they put a little hat on either end. The hat may have floated off at some stage. We don't really know when. She might have to have another little operation just to whip it out. And the issue with that will mean another like a week or 2 weeks, kind of like not doing too much sweating, which would be a bit annoying. Other than that, really positive. He tested the graft, nice and stable, really happy, legs straight, legs bending, awesome.
Yeah, it just feels unfair. I feel like every time I'm like, oh, things are going really well. It's like, oh, surprise, you've broken your hand. Oh, surprise, it's actually not your hand. You've got to have knee surgery. Oh, it's actually a mystery knee surgery. Oh, it's actually your ACL. It just feels like thing after thing after thing. And I said to Alex, he's like, oh, you're really brave. I'm like, yeah, but when do I get to not be brave for a bit?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
2 weeks post-op, it's time to start learning to walk without the crutches. With my first ACL rehab, I was really lucky that I had access to an AlterG, which is an anti-gravity treadmill. Basically, this meant that I could learn to walk with only a percentage of my body weight, so we started at 50 and worked up. This time round, it was going from the supportive crutches to completely me and my quads, and I was a little bit nervous. The main focus here is getting my knee completely straight, and then getting as close to a normal walking gait as possible. I'll still be using the crutches most of the time, and my steps will be pretty limited for the next few weeks, but I'm completely over the moon to be able to make my own coffee in the morning and just to carry things around the house.
G'day guys, Alex from ACL Survival Club. Charlie's in week 2 of her rehab, and we are now starting to change up a program just a little bit. So we're adding in some upper body training, really nice and light, twice a week, and we're adding in some opposite leg lowers twice a week as well. This is where we're going into a gym environment. We're not trying to sweat too much, but we are starting to introduce her back to these movements. So for upper body, we did push, pull, and arms. This is a quick 15-20 minute session. Her lower body, we went for big movements, so like knee extension, leg press, hamstring curls, and calf raises. The reason for this is we don't want to sweat too much, we don't want to spend too long in the gym, but we do want to start to tick over these muscle groups. And we did this around about day 12, because at day 14, we can start to take off the patches, have a look at the wounds, and make sure it's all healed nice and neatly. We wouldn't be doing this earlier on in the rehab process due to that risk of infection. The home rehab at the moment, trying to focus on lots of other areas that isn't just her knee and her quad. Because she's had that patella tendon graft, we don't want to irritate it too much. So we're only realistically doing complex and quad sets for the bulk of her quad work due to the patella tendon graft. We are doing a really healthy amount of hip and glute work. So that is doing bridges, single leg bridges, hamstring bridges. We're doing clams, side leg abductions, so a really big battery of glute work. We're doing some hamstring isos to work on her deficit from her old graft from her first surgery. Working on her calves with some calf raises, her ankles with some banded eversions, and we're also starting to introduce some foot exercises.
My friend Leela got last minute tickets to the Eras tour and invited me, and it was honestly the best night of my life. It was a little bit stressful being on crutches, and we did have a moment where we walked round and round the top floor trying to find a lift, but we managed it in the end, and as you can tell, I had the best time, and I even got crutches to match my outfit. Thanks for watching week 2. I'm excited to get into next week as I am finally allowed to sweat, so stay tuned for some adapted cardio options. I'll also be getting into some blood flow restriction training, which I can't wait to tell you about. See you next week, and do it for the plot.